Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Conspiracy Farm, where we don't start the conspiracies, we just add the water. And now, your host of the most state-of-the-art, most informed podcast on the interweb, I present to you Pat Militich and Jeffrey Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for war?
We are off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey Wilson, Pat Militich, another episode of the Conspiracy Farm. A little bit quieter because we're in the PM and we're in Casa de Militich and children are sleeping, so we can't ramp it up too loud. But we have a lot to discuss today, man. We've been gone for a couple weeks, and in those couple weeks, much has happened. Has there not, Pat?
Quite a bit, yeah. You know, we've been very busy. A lot going on, both of our lives.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to make that clear on the old Facebook that both of us have a lot going on. So in order to put together a show like this, you know, not to toot our own horn, but I mean, it just requires a lot of work from you know, organizing the guests, show research, show prep. There's a lot to it, but here we are.
It's mostly research.
It is, and it's you know, it's not easy. So
a lot of people out there not researching this stuff. I was just on Facebook earlier, Jeff, with a friend of mine who I met years ago through jiu-jitsu, who said, you know, how do I find this stuff that you guys are talking about? And I said, look, I got punched in the head for 25 years. I've figured out how to find it. You can do it. Okay.
It is out there.
People need to do Google searches. They need to cross-reference. They need to check things. Look, we're going to talk about things tonight on the Conspiracy Farm because, well, this is the Conspiracy Farm, of course. But we're going to talk about things tonight that we believe are true and that other things we can't figure out, right?
Well, yeah.
There's things that we can't confirm. Nothing's been confirmed.
We hypothesize. We theorize.
Right. So, you know, let's talk about AI first, I think, Jeff. I mean, we don't have to do the
however you want to do it, man. We've got
I mean, there's people out there that don't even know what AI is.
Oh man, you're going hard out of the box, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so AI. Let me set our preamp down here. When we're talking AI, we're what's up?
You're putting me.
Well, I mean,
it worked. It worked.
It did. It totally
You're
did.
a genius.
We just had to separate the preamp from our wireless devices. So, you know, when we start talking about AI, I mean, we kind of use it sometimes now. You know, Siri. These are small versions of AI, and in my
what are all the new versions in people's houses where they can ask a question and it'll answer it, right?
And these are just small versions. And like I said, and I've said in recent posts, AI. Blockchain is going to be taking things over as far as the new way of doing a great many of things, man. Jobs are going to be eliminated. I mean, it literally will be.
Well, think of all the jobs that are already been eliminated in factories because of computerized arms and welding.
When you start talking about AI, you gotta bring in blockchain, and it's kind of one and the same. One can't really exist without the other, and it is going to do exactly what the internet has done since the mid 90s. It's going to make that look crazy here in the next 5 to 10 years. And one of the first forays of blockchain and artificial intelligence, like I said, we've seen Siri, but one of the first applications we've seen is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is literally the first application of the blockchain, and Bitcoin is essentially what they call a cryptocurrency, a digital currency, an anonymous currency that you can. There's really a lot to it, and I'm certainly not
Sorry, hold on. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sending a message to feed you water.
What did you? Yeah,
you're a big donor to the Obamas and the Clintons. I'm coming for you like Trump.
That was very interesting when I saw that. Trump and his 4D chest. But no, yeah, I mean, that's it's a little scary when you start talking about the possible implications of AI and blockchain. The Saudi cyborg or the Saudi robot was given citizenship the other day, a couple weeks ago.
But why was it given citizenship? That's what I want to know. Can you answer that?
I can't necessarily intelligently.
I can.
Go for it.
It was given citizenship so that it could actually be paid. That's how it collects money. Then the people who control that robot can collect the money from it.
Well, yeah.
So when AI, artificial intelligence, again, writes a digital currency, it can't be paid, right? Unless it's given citizenship. Then once it's given citizenship, now the people who own it, basically wrote it,
who we don't know,
have created, well, they think they've created a slave, a digital slave, but ultimately that slave is now synchronized with all other computers and the entire internet for intelligence, and is writing its own chat rooms.
It is.
Own conversations in languages we can't understand.
It is.
And that's where it gets scary.
And that is where it gets scary. They're saying it could become, it's basically a version of Skynet. If you remember Terminator, Skynet, it becomes self-actualized, becomes self-thinking. The way the AI is learning is such an exponential rate. It defeated a human being in the ancient Chinese game of Go. If anybody knows what Go is, it's a very ancient game. Right. The possible variations of each move are within the millions and thousands. So this computer was self-learning and learning human intuition and beat another human at Go. This is just one aspect of artificial intelligence. What it's doing, and it's based, AI is essentially based off of a human intelligence algorithm. And what blockchain is, if you want to break it down to the absolute root, ladies and gentlemen, say Pat and I were Adam and Eve. As the population of the earth explodes, Adam and Eve grow smarter. That's basically the
we absorb all their intelligence.
We absorb all of their intelligence.
And experiences.
And their experience in a human, in a literally human way. It's not just digital binary stuff. It's very much so human intuition now. So that's essentially what the blockchains are, just building blocks. And then it gets deeper into how Bitcoin gets mined, and we don't need to bore people with that, quite frankly.
No, but they're talking about, you know, the videos that you would look up on blockchain would tell you that it is protection against certain infractions and control and this and that each person. But I doubt that theory. I doubt that theory.
In theory, it is supposed to be a streamlined operation. If I wanted to transfer Bitcoin from me to you, there is no intermediary, there is no middleman, there are no fees. It's just a straight digital transfer from me to you. Now, what that, in my opinion, larger the implications is it starts to replace what we know as fiat currency. Fiat currencies are paper currencies.
Central bank controlling everything.
Central banks, and this is the other thing about Bitcoin. There is no centralization to it. So if we start prognosticating and thinking forward 5, 10, 15 years.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, where you're going.
This is the next evolution.
It's stripping away the power of the central banking system, which is a direct threat to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and all the powerful families that control everything that goes on this
planet. Absolutely.
Which I'm all for, but
there's a slippery slope.
Who are the computer geniuses who will take over control?
Who own these what they call ledgers?
They can't keep leashes on the computer systems that they've started.
Right. Well, this is what's
now the machines take over digital currency.
It is.
The machines control the market.
They could possibly, like I said, with the advent and beginning of Bitcoin, people are saying there is rumors that the Bitcoin code was written by artificial intelligence. So
I wouldn't doubt it, because nobody's cracked the code,
and nobody will ever crack the code of actually Bitcoin, but except for maybe like 1 or 2 people. The larger point is
nobody can crack it.
Well,
you have to put 17 graphic cards into your computer and turn it on and put 17 fans on it.
Well, clearly they're making it
burning up the house.
They're making it very difficult. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin, as well as Bitcoin, is essentially like, it's just like I said, a version of this app from goddamn blockchain. But you have Ethereum, you have other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is not the be-all, end-all of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are the next evolution of monetary units. But something fascinating, ladies and gentlemen, from the beginning of Bitcoin, where's my notes here? From the beginning of Bitcoin, day one, whatever the first year that was, till about 2010, the growth of Bitcoin, maybe that's not 2010, around that time. Basically, the growth of Bitcoin, almost 90% of Bitcoin's transactions are legal black market transactions. That's part of what's inflating the bubble.
Right.
Well, and there's a huge appeal to that because there is no centralization. It's anonymous, et cetera, et cetera.
Look, if I wanted to be paid in illegal gambling fees, say I placed a bet offshore, right? I won $20,000. Pay me in Bitcoin, right? Then I can take that Bitcoin and buy gold.
Exactly. You can transfer.
Gold is now not traceable, right?
As well as Bitcoin transactions, except for this one particular ledger that supposedly one person has access to.
Right. But that's the idea.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, again, the larger implications of not just Bitcoin, but AI, you're going to be, like I said, it's going to eliminate a lot of jobs. You're going to see more automation done by artificial intelligence. You're going to see, I saw a particular video where a woman's breast cancer was diagnosed. They gave her diagnosis to the computer, and the computer literally in real time spat out the latest periodicals, the latest treatments, et cetera, within seconds. And it was spot on. You have certain legal matters being handled by AI, and the list goes on and on as the type of jobs that could be replaced by AI. So I just say
AI has analyzed automotive engines forever. I have a diagnosis tool that I can plug into my vehicles, any of my vehicles, and it'll tell me the code. I go on the computer, punch in the website, and suddenly the code comes up as whatever problem with the engine is going on.
Right. Well, and see, the thing is all these things with computers, it is. So the thing is with blockchain, you have, let's say you have a blockchain over here, you have a network over here that does that. You have a network over here that does that, and they're just autonomous networks. What has happened in that singularity that has occurred is these networks have combined within each other.
Right.
That's why this thing is learning. AI is learning in real time, and
on every level.
And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know
human anatomy, on the history of the earth, on
all of it. It's
sexual intercourse.
They gave it access to the internet.
I can throw it out to any subject, right?
They gave it access to the internet. It is learning in real time.
On God. Is it God now?
No, well, of course not. But it can philosophize on that.
A lot of people think, though. One billionaire philosophized that said, if we give this power of learning to an autonomous being that learns everything there is to be learned, it becomes a God. And are we cool with that God before we give it that power?
Well, and again, this is a part of the Skynet self-actualization of AI. They're worried about, could it possibly go and start programming itself to do things on its own? Search and destroy teams with drones.
No, it's already created its own chat rooms to talk in a language we don't understand.
I'm talking about Skynet shit, where it starts sending drones out on its own search and destroy missions.
There's already morons creating drones that are weaponized, right?
Absolutely. I'm just saying these are the implications. We are in literally 1992, like it was the internet in 1992. That's where we are at with the world of artificial intelligence. And we're going to, with Skynet, but we're going to see, we're just now scratching the surface with the internet here in 2017. We are going to see in the next few years blockchain and AI go in an exponential rate that's going to make what happened with the internet look crazy and look slow.
Right.
But I mean, this is what's coming, man. This is what's coming.
So
Saudi Arabia introduced, not only did they introduce their thing, they also introduced their own cryptocurrency around the same time.
So now let me
move into the purge.
Elaborate. So now you have AI writing its own cryptocurrency. Right?
Possibly.
Digital currency.
Yeah.
Already has. That's a foregone conclusion.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm with you.
Okay. So they have their own money. They're already dug into the entire internet. They've already surpassed our learning.
And we feed it with our smartphones day to day. Literally, you and I feed this machine.
Right.
Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. We feed this.
Right. So now, on top of that, think of the potential that we're building bot killers, right? Like you said, aerial drones, weaponized drones that are connected to that same system. Facial recognition, killing. Now what happens?
Now this sounds sci-fi. No, it sounds.
No,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
What happens when AI says, you know what? Fuck humans. Kill them all. Now we've got flying drones everywhere that we created for warfare to go kill friggin' terrorists that are hunting everybody and finding
Now, I see another implication of this.
This is fucking. This
I'm
is
with
possible.
you. I'm with you. And another larger implication.
Is there some sort of abort mission that we can hit a button and blow
police drones, which will be very similar to the film Judge Dredd. If you remember the movie Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone, I don't know if you saw it. It was a very post-apocalyptic scenario, and the most minor of crimes got you thrown in prison. And that's and this coincides, ladies and gentlemen, and I think we're moving into this in the next 10 to 20 years. Agenda 21, the larger depopulation.
That's Agenda 21 is a foregone conclusion.
The larger depopulation program, where something like this will be. Yes, we're going to have to start calling lots of people for jaywalking. Not literally, but when you start getting into drones possibly policing the streets, it's going to get very, very interesting, in my humble opinion. And similar to Judge Dredd, they're going to have those mega cities in different areas of the country, and then you're going to have your outskirts, your savage land, if you will.
We already have mega cities.
I'm talking about in the way where it is a technocracy. You have the mark of the beast. You know what I mean? You cannot move without being tagged. You know what I mean?
That's my digital chip in my friggin' credit card.
That's where we're at right now with our phone. But yeah, we still have some time. But while this goes on, ladies and gentlemen, the AI is learning exponentially.
Yeah. So have we ridden the wheels off of this?
Well, I mean, we're just scratching the surface, my man. We definitely will get into.
Go into it forever.
We will bring on some more guests who are way smarter than us. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, just know Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, AI, deep learning, all this stuff Google has unfortunately going on.
Right.
That Kansas is about to go by very, very quickly. So just pay attention. So what do we got next? We have Trump, man. Where do you want to go? You want to go JFK files? Or you want to go Trump?
I think we should talk the Saudi cleansing.
The Saudi purge that went down a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. What's going on with the Saudi purge, ladies and gentlemen? What did we have? We had, what was his name?
Hundreds and hundreds of Saudi princes.
One in particular,
billionaires.
Prince Walid bin Talal was rounded up by the Saudi authorities, and he also happens to own the top 4 floors of the Mandalay Bay, which is, I believe...
Whoa. And?
He does. He owns that.
Fox News.
Does he own part of Fox News with Rupert?
Huge chunk of Fox News.
Well,
me, dude?
As it relates to
$16 billion.
As it relates to Vegas... Well, maybe it doesn't relate to Vegas at all, but he happens to have ownership.
Look, we don't have to connect that to Vegas.
Right.
What we can certainly say is this. Trump visited Saudi Arabia. Trump had meetings with the leaders of Saudi Arabia.
Put his hands on the Palantir globe.
Yes. But he gave a speech to all the Muslim leaders and said basically it's done. The terrorist organizations, the terrorist activity is done. We're cleaning it up. So all the funders of terrorist organizations,
not all, but we're seeing a lot.
Hundreds,
especially from Saudi Arabia.
Hundreds, dude. We're talking people with a net value of $1 trillion scooped up.
Well, and that's something to make point of too, dude. Saudi Arabia has been one of the largest funders of terrorists. We talked about it on the show many times.
Everybody knows.
But I know. But look, we just named North Korea a terrorist state, but yet Saudi Arabia still refused. We still refuse to put that tag on Saudi Arabia.
Look, if you look at the map of the globe, especially of Asia, you have South Korea, and then North Korea above it actually has a sign on it that says CIA. Okay, so let's get real.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's just, listen, the Purge has been interesting. You saw all those guys get arrested. You saw 8 of them get blown up in a helicopter. It is very interesting. And this kind of, let me know when you're done with the Saudi conversation, because in my opinion,
we're not done with the Saudi conversation.
No, I'm just saying this coincides with the Trump Mueller conversation of.
We'll go into that. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying the game pieces are changing. Everyone seems to think, look, this man right here said in the beginning, couple months ago or whenever this started, that Trump and Mueller were on the same team.
I said it. Yeah, from the beginning.
And I just did not see it happening.
Trump said we are going to hire Hillary.
In the mic.
He said Hillary.
In the mic.
God damn it. He said to Hillary, I'm going to hire a special prosecutor to look into what you've been doing, right? Trump's president. Now, all of a sudden, there's this big hoopla. Mueller, who's a Democrat, is going to be brought in. He's an FBI guy. He's not Democrat or Republican.
Right. Wow.
You morons. Don't fucking assume anything. And number one, look, Mueller's already guilty of delivering a uranium sample to the Russians on a tarmac in fucking Russia. Okay, so he's guilty.
And
he's
Trump
done.
knows that.
His ass is done.
And so your assertion is Trump knows that and already pardoned him.
Bannon went to Mueller and said, look, here's the deal. You're going to do the bidding of the Trump administration. We're going to save you. We're going to give you a pardon. Otherwise, you're going to do life in fucking prison for doing the bidding of the deep state.
Right.
Right? So here's the deal. You're going to fucking do the investigation. Here's how it's going to play out. You're going to go after Trump in the public. Okay?
Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention. Pay attention.
And you better fucking pay attention. The media is going to play this out as you are after Trump. Trump-Russia collusion, all the garbage, everything else that's going on. You're going to hire a bunch of fucking Democratic attorneys. They're going to come in. And here's what's going to go down. You're going to actually investigate the real crimes.
While publicly saying
that we're going to ask for this from the Trump administration and this from the Trump administration.
Paul Manafort.
We want to send out the biggest diversion, the biggest chess play in world history. And then when it all plays out, now we're looking at 1,800 sealed indictments, right, Jeffrey?
Close to it. Yeah, they're up there.
1,800 sealed indictments that are all over every state in the union besides Iowa, thank God, because my politicians
you almost got to let that settle in for everybody.
1,800, which
sealed
is
indictments.
never even close to that ever in the history of
sealed
mankind.
Indictments coming from Mueller's investigation.
We have pedophiles ready to go down. We have corrupt politicians ready to go down. We have some serious shit ready to go down. But here's the thing. Look.
But we get Charlie Rose and freaking Weinstein. We get these small fishes thrown at us.
It's beautiful that the women rapists, okay, whatever they are being brought out. Okay. Do I know all of them are true? No.
Of course not.
No. We get a lot of accusations. The people that are dropping out and stopping their activity, people being fired, probably legitimate, right?
Charlie Rose admits to it.
When you got Judge Roy Moore who's going, fuck you, I didn't do anything. You're fucking all lying. Gloria Allred forged that friggin' signature on the yearbook. That's all bullshit. And we're getting off on a tangent.
No. Yeah, that's all a part of it.
But here's the thing. There is no way that 3,000 pedophiles get arrested if Hillary Clinton gets elected.
No.
Right?
No.
It's unraveling from Wiener's fucking...
Even before this, a lot of the arrests that have gone... Thousands of arrests have gone down.
I'm sorry for cussing.
No. But thousands of arrests that have gone down even outside of public mainstream media coverage. Rings of pedophiles, etc., child trafficking. It's been going down.
185 people got arrested a month ago, and 87 children were rescued, and the youngest was 3 months old, dude.
Jeez.
What kind of sick son of a bitches are these? Dude, I have 3 young daughters.
That's
shoot. Look, I'll say
kill
it again.
them,
I said it earlier in our history, in our podcast. I have a 15-year-old, I have a 13-year-old, and a 4-year-old, all girls. You rape my daughters, you're going to disappear.
Right.
Okay? I can say that now. You can record it for history. You're fucking gonna disappear.
Write it down.
Okay? You're gone. You're done. You'll never be seen again, and nobody will ever find you. And quite frankly, I don't care what law enforcement says about me saying that.
Right.
Okay? You're done. You did a heinous crime. Look, you're one of my best friends. Somebody kills your daughter, okay, I can help you get rid of them. Right. I will. Because that's justice.
Right. No,
justice is not putting them in prison, dude.
Well, and like I said, we have this deluge now.
They can't be fixed. They can't be fixed. You do that to a child, you can't be fixed.
Oh, no, God, no.
You're done. You're a reject. We have to fucking get rid of you. Okay?
So people have been wondering what kind of has been meant by the storm when Trump talks about the storm not long ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I love friggin' Hannity. Hannity was a moron 2 years ago. Hannity was a guy I didn't even like 2 years ago because he was so centrist, right?
Right.
Now Hannity understands what's really going on because they've attacked him.
Well,
right? And they'll attack us.
He reads the tea leaves, dude. He knows what's going on. Like down in
But
Brazil.
here's the thing. Now he's woken up because they attacked him. And he's fighting for his life. And the constant tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. That's what I love about Hannity, is he knows now he's connected and knows what's going on. He's connected like you and I are.
Right.
Right?
He's come around.
I showed you a video from a CIA buddy.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
My CIA buddy says, yeah, it's true. It's all true.
Well, and another part of, one of the aspects we wanted to talk about in one of our last episodes, there seems to be so much mis and disinformation going on as it relates to, Vegas. The Marines landed at CIA headquarters yesterday. The Rothschilds have crashed in a plane. There's a lot, man. And this coincides with, in my humble opinion, a version of Operation Mockingbird that is taking over the alternative media, what you and I do. You have a lot of cats who are leading the pack in this realm of alternative media that aren't necessarily exactly who they say they are. And there's a lot of disinformation and misinformation going out there to just convolute a lot of what's going on.
Jeff, are you CIA?
No, I'm not. That's why I can rest. I have solace in the fact that you and I are one of the few shows that I absolutely know are legit and not compromised.
I had to ask you though, I know you'd lie to me anyway, but I got.
If I was CIA and well trained, of course I'd have to lie.
I'd already be dead, probably.
Right. Well, why would I kill you, man? We're trying to make a show here together. But is there not? Like I said, literally, ladies and gentlemen, there was a story of the last 48 hours that the Marines had touched down in Langley, Virginia, and
nobody knows that. Nobody can confirm that.
Well, it came from one source, and it was like this dubious source. Well, supposedly Hal Turner, who had a radio show, and Hal Turner wound up being an FBI informant. Right. So it just is like,
Could be misinformation, most likely.
Well, and there's just more and more of it. So I just, be careful, everyone. When you go out there, obviously mainstream media is going to lie to you. But you get into...
Don't post it unless you can cross-reference. And there is no cross-reference on that.
It's tough. With the internet, it's really tough to corroborate stuff. But that's just another thing to be on the lookout for.
No, but in the end, it could be true.
That's something that could be pretty easily verified, though. I think
Look,
the CIA...
as close as Trump and Mattis are, and how they can shut it down, dude, you can't even get close to CIA headquarters without clearance. There are huge trees that cover that whole compound.
Yeah, that place is enormous. Yeah, you can't... it was like 2,200 troops or 2,500 Marines supposedly came in.
But I can't see anything inside of there because all the trees and everything, so I can't verify anything.
Well, right? Yeah.
So it technically could be true.
It could be. It could be. But again, always want to keep your discernment hat on, and bullshit meter has to be in full effect.
Right. Jeffrey's stepping up to
restart our camera.
Adjust things on the camera. Yeah.
We're a half hour, ladies and gentlemen.
We're a half hour early?
Half hour in.
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, gotta watch out for the mis and disinfo. What else we had? We did AI, we did Bitcoin. What else we got, champ? We got and that's I guess again to kind of reiterate and put a cherry on what you're saying, because we've hinted to it in our Facebook post. Trump and Mueller could be handling and being a part of one of the largest stings in American history. He is.
I don't think that's even a question.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just putting a bow on that conversation.
Right.
That he is allowing everyone to continue to talk about Trump, Russia.
His tweets.
Because
with the ball, with the ball.
The other day, within the last few weeks, Tony Podesta stepped down from the Podesta group because he knows he has ties to this Russia stuff.
And it's being wound up.
His CEO days later steps down and tells the staff, we might not be able to pay you guys your final check.
Right.
Because the Podesta group is in such throes.
It's done.
Because they know what's supposedly coming down the pike. And I don't know.
I think, look, the Podesta group is done. The Podestas, you've heard the videos of the potential identical voice match of Podesta with the child.
I did not hear the voice authentication, but I did hear some of that.
Did you hear the video? It's very tough to listen to.
I couldn't go through all of that, but I mean,
you couldn't go through all of it because
I'm a human being with a soul. Your phone's right here. You're not going to pull it up.
Yeah.
We're not gonna expose our listeners to that madness. At the end of the day,
you're not. I think you have to give me my phone.
At the end of the day,
I have a certain number of listeners right now, but it's not worth.
Hey! We don't want to scare them off. We have a show to do. We got to stay on track here.
Are you serious?
We don't want to play a screaming child in fear because she's about to be freaking murdered. Who wants to hear that? I don't want to hear that.
With the Podesta voice attached to it.
Well, we haven't even confirmed that that's the Podesta voice.
It sounds a lot like it.
The point is, a lot of evil shit is about to be exposed.
Am I going off on a rail here?
No. It's not at all.
I mean, this is legit shit.
It is. Well, right. We will post a link. We will post a link in this video to the video you're talking to.
There you go.
And you can click on it and listen to it yourself in your own leisure. If you
of course, Pizzagate and pedophiles, even though 3,000 have been arrested since Trump was elected, is just a farce. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a farce. So anybody that tweets me and says it's just a farce, you're full of shit on Pedogate and child pornography and everything else that's going on with 3,000 arrests after Trump was elected.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay? And the hammer has yet to come down.
You're a child rapist. Fuck you.
Okay? Lumping them
Kiss
all
my
in.
ass.
Yes. So yeah, that's, ladies and gentlemen, seriously though, in the next coming days and weeks, that is supposedly the hammer to drop, that Donald Trump is in fact working with Robert Mueller because Robert Mueller's got dirt on him, and Trump knows this and has, like, as my co-host says, has already pardoned him, and they are doing
Mueller's already been pardoned by Trump. I'm telling you.
So there's a lot with supposedly almost 1,800 unsealed indictments. Can you imagine what's all about to come down, ladies and gentlemen? It's not just about Russian collusion. It's about to get real deep. And I think some of it has to do with what happened in Saudi Arabia. You realize this is the real news, right? Well, we're trying.
We're trying. This is the real news.
We're trying.
The real news on MSNBC and CBS and CNN and NBC and all the garbage, Fox News, is not the real news.
No.
This is the real news, the hard-hitting brutality. That's what's really going on. Look, we can go back and say, goddamn, Jeff, Pat, you guys were fucking crazy, saying that ISIS and al-Nusra were funded by the Clinton State Department. And
been saying it since episode 1, dude. Since episode 1.
And it's all proven in documents now, but we're assholes. We're complete assholes, right?
Well, that's the thing. History obviously already has proven us correct. Like we talked about the other day, we were talking about Fethullah Gulen. If you haven't looked
Let's
up
talk more about Fethullah Gulen. He's gone after Sibel Edmonds now.
He's going after Sibel Edmonds, and that is another part.
You got to explain who Sibel Edmonds is.
Sibel Edmonds was a former FBI linguist that was fired before 9/11 because she basically heard traffic about many of things, terror movements, drug people movements,
funding from
funding from Western forces.
Right.
So she wound up finding that out. What she's also finding out through her news agency called NewsBud, they're going after Flynn, Admiral Flynn or General Flynn, because he's one of the main folks who even said years ago that the U.S. was funding ISIS, that the U.S. brought Fethullah Gulen and set up his charter schools, which is a $20 billion foundation, but he in fact funds and facilitates terror throughout the world, and is right under the nose of the U.S. government. So that's going to be
that's old news though. That's old news. A punch-drunk fighter, right? Pat Militich, 4.5 years ago, messaged his friend in the intel agencies and said, dude, I just saw John McCain on the news in Syria, on CNN.
With Baghdadi.
With fucking Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS, right? The guy that was held in U.S. custody in a prison in the Middle East as a leader of terrorist organizations. And he's in a meeting with friggin' John McCain. We're funding ISIS, right? We're funding the terrorists. And he goes, you're a moron. How would you not put two and two together? And to the American people, I say to you, I'm looking directly at you. How could you not put two and two together and go, holy shit, yeah, we're funding them. Obama's administration, the Bush administration, the Reagan administration,
you name
funded terrorists. But this is different. Again, this is different, right? Reagan's funding of the maniacs in Afghanistan was different. That was to stop Russia.
Different means to a different end, yeah, or a different means to the same end.
But
same means
Syria,
to a different end, rather.
In Syria, this has been totally different.
It's regime change, destabilization, encircle Russia.
A pipeline running through it.
Yes.
Syria is not part of the central banking system, et cetera, et cetera. But now we've got, okay, and I don't see any more films coming out, Jeffrey, of literally Hollywood-level film with cuts to different scenes of them burning human beings, hanging them, crucifying them. These were digital high-def films professionally put together by the British film crew that was hired by the CIA for millions and millions of dollars to send this propaganda out. Right? Correct.
No, you got to almost rewind. You got to say it again. Did you hear what he just said? A British PR firm was paid millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars from hundreds of million dollars from our CIA to create propaganda films of beheadings, burnings, etc.
So they allowed it to happen and filmed it.
Not to say the real ones didn't happen, but they also created some.
Yeah.
And that sounds just crazy to people, but it's true. It's freaking true.
Yeah, it is. And 500,000 people have died in Syria, and millions have fled out of Western Iraq and Syria into Europe for the purpose of, to be honest with you,
infiltration.
Sprinkle your ISIS people in there, your agents, and dude, there was just an argument on in the British Commons and the Canadian Commons on, are we going to allow ISIS rebels back? And they're being given government benefits to come back because, for one reason only, they were government funded to begin with. These were agents working within the government to go destabilize the Assad government, and they were promised these benefits.
Yeah.
And when they come back, they're given a house, they're given money,
driver's license,
food stamps, license, anything you want. And that's what's going on in Canada. That's what's going on in
Sweden.
Britain. Trump is doing his best to stop it here in the United States, but it's happening.
Again, we've talked about this even before Trump was elected, when people got up in arms on the whole immigration Muslim ban, which it wasn't even a Muslim ban. It literally was his understanding of what Pat just explained, that there are certain countries that have been provocateured and financed to do what they're doing. And that's the one he put the kibosh on. He didn't put the kibosh on freaking Bangladesh and Indonesia and, you know, places where there's, you know, just as many Muslims. It was a strategic move, but of course everyone else was knee jerk in the reaction, like, yo, you just hate Muslims, whatever, which is a whole nother conversation. But again, man, I mean,
just a mistake that ISIS is being destroyed right now and has been
exactly
since Trump came into office. Look, Trump stopped immediately the funding of ISIS and al-Nusra when he got into office. The CIA program to fund terrorists was stopped. I got that confirmed by my CIA and intelligence.
And it was actually reported.
Okay, and these are high-level fucking people, okay? And it was reported.
It was.
Exactly. So now ISIS is losing ground. They're getting destroyed. All the fighters are wanting to go back to their home countries. Well, of course you are, because you're not getting paid anymore.
You're losing.
You're going to die for no reason, and they're watching their boys get friggin' destroyed by airdrops. And now Trump has gone even further, and he's whacking the CIA heroin funding operations,
which has been going on for a long
shit
time.
Out of stuff.
That's been going on a long time.
Trump is having those facilities bombed.
I saw that.
So all the CIA heroin funding, because that's how they were making their money to friggin' fund terrorism, right? Trump's not stupid. Trump's never drank an alcohol drink in his life, never done a drug in his life, and he looks at that and goes, "Fuck these people."
Well, I mean, even if he had, I mean, he is hip to the architecture. He is hip to this network that we talk about all the time that is trading in people, guns, drugs, organs, and like you said, he's shutting it down. Like me personally, I don't. You know, all presidents have their own bit of shade on them, but like you said, he is putting an end to the funding of ISIS. I mean, granted, you know, it's almost a monster of Frankenstein in and of itself now, but
but in the end, besides the Trump College of Business and whatever else lawsuits that he's filed, people can't find any real dirt on him besides the whole the
Bush thing, pussy grab,
Bubba Bush pussy grab thing. That's locker room talk.
Yeah,
they can't find anything else, right? And
he's been in the game a long time too.
But you know what's funny is he's being called a racist for months and months and months now by people who've turned out to be pedophiles. Right. So how better to take your stand than to look at people and go, dude, you rape little girls and you're calling me a racist.
Well, I mean, and that's where we are anymore, because I don't like you, I immediately have to go into ad hominem attacks. You're a racist, you're a pedophile, whatever. I mean, it's just like we rarely get into the substance of issues because it's identity politics, as they call it.
Look, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, right? And neither are you.
Right.
I think I'm an American.
Right.
I think we're nationalists.
Someone said, I heard the other day, there are no such thing as like necessarily. There's just good ideas. There's not necessarily good right ideas, left ideas. There's just good ideas, and sometimes a good idea can be, you know, more right leaning or left leaning.
Well, feed the poor could be any idea, the right or left.
I'm just my point is we don't have to be so binary and are like I'm a XYZ, because good ideas can come from both sides.
And more than anything else, the two-party system was designed to divide.
Of course, and you know, very flawed, very corrupted, as we've seen.
Stop being divided.
Again, man, there's a big apparatus keeping us divided. So,
what other subjects you want to talk about?
What do we have? JFK files.
Talk about NFL football?
No.
You want to talk about kneeling?
JFK files. I think that rounds us. JFK files. I think rounds us out. Tomorrow.
You want to talk about kneeling?
Tomorrow is the anniversary of the Kennedy assassination.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is.
You would know that.
November 22nd. Yeah.
You're the expert.
Well, I mean, you know, the files.
That's why you're here.
What do you mean?
That's ultimately why you're here.
The conspiracy. That's why the conspiracy farm was born. The Kennedy file. But I mean, we didn't get much from it. We got a few things that said he was shot from the front, which we all knew.
From it.
There was. But I mean,
there was an entrance wound in the front of his neck. That's huge.
That really is the crux of all of it.
There was also the revelation that the CIA was planning bombings in Miami to blame Cuba for an invasion.
Yes.
That's huge.
Operation Northwoods.
Tell me it's not big.
Well, it's nothing, but most of us didn't know already, was my point. There was no revelation.
Right, but most of America didn't know any of this, right? The tracheotomy on the autopsy photos
That's well known for a long time.
By you.
Well, anybody in that world.
But the bullet entrance wound was used as a tracheotomy to hide the bullet wound in front of his neck.
Right.
Okay, that was already proven in the documents that were released in the JFK files.
Yeah.
Reason being, Trump made sure that they were released. Okay?
Right.
To show that the deep state is real. Right?
Well, and again, it was one of those kind of you almost, not that you had to look for, but something like that. He was shot from the front. That really, with such a small statement, that shuts down so much.
Yeah.
Without having to mention so many other names, Malcolm Wallace, David Atlee, Phillips, Charles Harrison.
But to show that the false flag event of Miami bombings were planned to stage an entire war against Cuba.
Well, that was definitely part of it.
So that legitimizes the Gulf of Tonkin to legitimize the Vietnam War, right?
I don't know if I don't know if the blowing up the Cuba. That was more
it makes the CIA capable of doing horrible things to foment a war.
Yes, absolutely.
That's my point.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They'll go to any lengths to cause a war. Look, we already know the Ukraine was overthrown for a reason, right?
Right.
We know that the ISIS and al-Nusra terrorists were created for a reason. We know that they weren't created out of thin air. And we go back to the JFK files, and we know that substantiates our beliefs.
Well, I mean, and it's almost the same motive. You know what I mean? Politics is power and nothing more. And that's what you have. You have, different false flag attacks. I mean, you look at how the foreign policy in America was completely changed from the assassination of President Kennedy. Like, he was literally about to pull out of Vietnam.
Right.
He was literally about to join the Soviets in a space race. Like, there was so much that he was putting a curveball in that,
So now, to go from that, I'm going to make a huge leap. And we're going to keep this rolling. And the reason I'm saying this is because of the 1,800 sealed indictments that are about to come out. And you got to restart.
Knock on wood.
There's no coincidence that the Trump administration is appointing judges at a massive and fast rate to deal with these indictments that are coming out. There are judges being appointed left and right in court systems all across this country, and ironically, they're landing in the places that these indictments are coming up. Right?
They're all over. Dallas. I mean, they're all over the country.
Yeah, they are.
Literally,
a lot in Washington D.C., a lot in Texas,
Arkansas, Texas, California,
Little Rock,
Illinois.
Go figure.
Yeah, why would it be in Little Rock?
Yeah, fine. So
Chevello, the mellow fellow is watching.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
See, he's throwing up secret handshakes here.
I love you, man. I miss you.
Chevello, my dude.
That's awesome. He's watching.
Isn't he?
Is that awesome?
I love that guy, dude. He ran into Drake the other day, and he's like, dude, he got a freaking
a Masonic logo on his jacket. Kiss my ass.
Right. He called him out, dude. He's like, who are you, a Mason, dude? Chevello, what's up, dude?
Got to be a Mason to be a Mason.
Right.
I think he's messaging again, maybe. No?
That's Wilbur, Jesse Wilbur.
Jesse, all right. Jesse,
I never did get that unlock kit, Jesse Wilbur.
I don't know who's messaging on mine. I can't read from this far away. You've got glasses on.
Yeah, which I'm surprised I can even read that. But yeah, nothing new came from the JFK thing. It just kind of corroborated.
I guess nothing new came from that.
Okay,
stop it.
Stuff came from it.
Nobody in America knew about that.
Okay, let me
7 other dudes. Okay, so stop it.
Let me just say this then. Stuff came from it, and nobody did anything. How about that?
Nobody's done anything yet.
Nobody's done a damn thing.
But Trump used that as a weapon. He did.
I think so. I think so.
Trump's not a dumb guy.
No, I don't.
Trump graduated #1 in his class in the most prestigious business school in America, right?
And did he go to West Point?
No.
He did go to West Point.
Did he go to West Point?
Yeah.
No.
He did.
He did?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, or some academy or some shit. I don't
Oh,
know.
but then the liberals will say, then he dodged. Then he dodged going into the service.
Don't even get me fucking started on that shit.
I get it. No, but in the end,
you got a nice list there. We touched on any of your list there.
I do.
We did AI, Bitcoin, misinformation, JFK files.
Do you think it was an actual plane or a drone that hit the Rothschilds' helicopter, over their estate in
England over there. Well, it is interesting because 4 people died. They only released 2 names, and it was an older gentleman and an underaged young man.
A student that was learning how to fly.
A student that was learning how to fly, flying away from the Rothschild estate. No shuttling of human beings to the estate there. But no, we do have the actual telemetry from 4chan of the planes, and we saw one was here, and it literally just crashed right into it. But
that's
who were
called
the other
drone, dude. That's called a drone.
Why would they say 4 people? Who were the other 2?
It's called a drone.
And they just made up the other 2 people?
Of course. Lord Rothschild is dead, brother.
No. No. He wasn't on the copter. It was just supposedly the instructor and the kid.
Of course not.
Oh, wow.
Of course not. Lord Rothschild isn't dead. There's not another Rothschild dead at all.
That gets into like the sinking of the Titanic, dude.
No,
They sunk the Titanic to take out an Astor.
Right.
But
here's the thing. People can look into it as much as they want, but the Rothschilds are secretive. They certainly wouldn't let this out.
President Trump graduated from the Wharton School of Finance and Commerce, University of Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
He graduated with a bachelor. Oh, I thought he. Anyway, I'm sorry, bro.
Wharton School of Finance, which is a very high-level school, right?
He knows
business
what's
and
up.
Finance.
He's not a moron.
Thank you for telling us. No, he's not a moron.
John Byrne, it's your boy, John Byrne.
John Byrne, thank you for watching. We appreciate you watching, sir. John Byrne is a genius in his own right. John Byrne is
we attract nothing but geniuses.
A professor at St. Ambrose University and a 3-time Leadville 100 finisher. Wow. A brutal 100-mile race that I attempted and got hurt quite early on.
You at least tried that.
I'm going back this year, though. I'm going back this year with my brother.
I was contemplating it, but I'm like, I like living.
Well, you can come watch.
Yeah, that's me. I'll hand you granola bars all day.
Like a mile at a time.
I'll send a drone out to follow.
As we pass you, you can wave.
Right? Real men doing real shit. I'm just gonna sit here and drink some beer. We digress.
Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Bro.
Is Fethullah Gulen gonna get taken out?
Who knows? My phone's about to die. So if my phone dies, thanks for watching, everyone. This episode will be up a little later. Thanks, Pat. You're awesome. John Byrne said, thanks, Pat. You're awesome.
Thank you, brother.
And if this does die, Pat's over on Periscope with a little bit more.
Follow me on Periscope.
Follow me on Periscope. But check your list there. You got a little bit on your list there. I don't want to dip out before you.
We've gone through a lot of it. I mean, the arrests of all the billionaires and princes in Saudi Arabia. I mean, there were hundreds of arrests.
A purge.
They were brought down right after Trump arrived and gave a speech to Middle Eastern nation leaders and said, we are done with terrorism. It is done. We're absolutely not funding it anymore. Right? And suddenly, all the people that ironically turn out to be funders of the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative.
Even outside of that, the MS-13 arrests.
MS-13, who were guardians of the rat lines, guarding the rat lines that were hauling weapons, drugs, human sex trafficking, and organ trafficking.
Trump is doing a lot of cleaning up without patting himself on the back about it. They don't
even care whether it's covered.
Who? Right? The media?
Trump doesn't need it covered.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the genius of it.
The media, number one, Trump knows they won't cover it because they're the guardians at the gate for the globalists that are doing this stuff, right? Okay? So Trump doesn't care if it gets covered. His tweets are a diversion. When people call him a moron for all the tweets, he doesn't care. He's deliberately doing it. He is a genius, and he wants everyone to think he's a moron, right?
Right.
He wants everyone to think. And I sit there, you and I know the game that's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're watching the whole thing go down going, dude, this is genius. He's sitting there messing with LeVar Bell, whatever his name is. I want my kid to have a fucking sneaker, whatever.
Lord. You shouldn't even have mentioned that fucker's name on our show.
What's his? I didn't mention it correctly.
Yes, exactly.
Pronounce it.
Exactly. Good.
Give me a break. But no, I think I've gone over everything I've wanted to go over.
All right.
We've destroyed everything besides the Uranium One deal. right?
We could do that. We could do. I mean, that's going to be involved in this investigation.
William Campbell is the secret FBI informant.
Yeah.
His name was released, right? This was the guy that spent years infiltrating Uranium One and watched the deal go down between the Clintons.
Podesta Group, I believe, was involved in some of that.
Yeah, the Podestas are going down.
Yeah.
Mueller was involved. Comey was involved. All of them were involved. This is where it all comes into Mueller getting the pardon from Trump to work against this deep state because he was compromised for whatever reason, whatever was in his emails or his text messages to his girlfriend or whatever the hell.
So people are saying he needs to resign. He can't.
Did Mueller have a girlfriend that his wife didn't want to know about, and they went, "Look, dude, here's the deal. We could screw up your life. You need to take this vial of yellow pack uranium and deliver it to Russia and show them that we got the real uranium. You're going to take it to Russia, and that's what's going to go down.
No, go ahead.
This is the way it's going to go." And was he doing deeds for the deep state against his will, which is what's reported by QAnon.
Right? Oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk about.
And Q, in my mind, 100% is military intelligence. And they're doing this, they're feeding this out to the public for the sole purpose of getting support for it as it goes along. Right? That's, in my mind, what's going on.
See, I'm even getting reports that QAnon is misinformation.
I just think it's
or
so
even
detailed
even AI.
No way. It's
too many
detailed,
questions.
dude.
So many questions because he's just
look. So this guy William Campbell has audio and video recordings of the money being delivered, of all the deals going down, of the discussions, everything else, and he's going to give a congressional.
When is that? When is that?
It's coming up here. It's coming up here in like a month or so.
Hopefully he's not Arkansas-sided before that.
Yeah,
that's some heavy hitting shit.
Right. If he's killed, then they're guilty.
Well, then you had the Clintons coming out the other day.
They're killed 45, 50 people.
No, yeah.
It's conjecture.
46. Maybe.
Conjecture. Totally conjecture. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we've done
we covered a lot, man. We definitely covered a lot, and man.
Of modern what would you call it? The current state of affairs.
Contemporary world issues. You know what I mean? This is definitely. I mean, we were gone for a couple of weeks, and there was a lot of stuff that went down. So,
and this needs to get out.
It does.
It needs to. People
without a doubt.
Up to date.
Without a doubt. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
we're both delirious. We're both tired.
No, it's only 9 o'clock at night. 9:30 at night, dude. I've
been watching 3 Girls and a Crippled Wife.
Oh, see,
she had shoulder surgery, and
I'm on late night bartender time, dude. This is the witching hour for me. But yeah, dude, good show, man. I mean, obviously packed a lot in this bad boy, and
watch it.
Things are developing day to day, ladies and gentlemen. We just implore you, as we always say, do not watch the mainstream media. Try to do the best you can.
Watch them to laugh.
Well, yeah, you need a little comic relief for sure, but exactly. Just the stakes are very high, and like we talked about, if Trump is doing what he is doing, then it's stuff you're never really going to read or see on the news. So just pay attention to
citizens with real news.
That's kind of what we're trying to do right here. So that's about it, man.
Night. Peace out.
Ladies and gentlemen, peace. Stay tuned. There will be a whole bunch more.